Hello, 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 ladies and gentlemen. How goes it? Vern, how are you?
I am doing fantastic. It feels good to be back.
Yeah, episode
Another
28.
podcast, another day, another podcast, another day late. That's my bad this time.
Yeah, we're actually going to blame you completely for all the future podcasts we're late to.
Hey, when it's my fault, I'll take that one.
It happens. Only a day late this time. So, you know, that's
true.
pretty good. That's pretty good.
Dude, I've just been so overwhelmed, which is funny because like I've been in this mode and this mindset recently where all I want to do is like be better. Like I just keep going. And I'm like, super motivated. I don't feel burnt out at all, but like, man, I was just really overwhelmed with everything I had to get done yesterday. So
I feel that, brother, on a next type of level. I am so overwhelmed with everything right now.
You more so than me. Mine is like you got like life stuff happening. I'm putting this stuff on myself, you know? Like I'm like just pile. I have my plate in front of me. I got a nice steak and potatoes, and I just keep like more potatoes, more steak. You got carrots, throw them on there. We're healthy boys now, you know. just piling it, dude. Now I got a mountain of food in front of me, and I'm just taking little baby bites.
Well, you better get through that goddamn food. Don't waste it.
I don't waste. I'll tell you that much.
Don't waste.
Things are going good, dude.
What?
I feel like I'm just crushing it right now.
Good.
I made a TikTok.
You made a TikTok?
I made a TikTok.
Is that the level of like crushing it versus not crushing?
Dude,
like having a TikTok?
Yes. Yeah. Because dude, I can literally be like, oh, you know, hey, if you want more of me, just Vern Notice everywhere. And they'll be like, what? Everywhere? Literally everywhere.
Everywhere? I don't know if that's
YouTube,
true.
TikTok, Instagram, Twitter, Spotify, God, I'm working on the rest.
Pornhub?
Yeah, potentially.
OnlyFans?
I feel like a real wholesome dude, right? Eventually.
Yeah. Just go on there and make like super motivational vlogs.
As soon as I like get a 6-pack, if that ever happens, I will 1000% make an OnlyFans. It's not gonna be like lewd content, but if I could just have my shirt off doing like normal shit, like daily activities.
Like doing laundry?
Yeah. Oh my God. No, that's the Pornhub. That's for Pornhub.
That's true.
Like,
you should imagine just be you doing like household,
cooking, cleaning.
Yeah.
Oh, I'd beat my dick to that.
Jeez. So you're telling me you'd beat your dick to you with a 6-pack with like just an apron on?
Specifically me, like no other man.
So you're like Christian Bale from American Psycho.
Dude, yeah. Oh my, I will make all the faces at myself in the mirror.
Nice. Okay. Hey.
When it's go time, it's go time.
I mean, if you're not gonna believe in yourself, who will?
True. It's more about. So what I learned.
No, that's not true. That was something I said to George the other day when I was actually trying to motivate him, and I didn't realize what I had said until it was too late.
Say it again.
If you don't believe in yourself, who will?
Oh, true. True.
No, that's terrible.
That makes perfect sense. That implies that if you don't believe in yourself, no one should. Well, if you're not confident,
no one should.
If you don't have confidence in yourself, why is anyone else gonna have confidence in you?
Yeah.
You got to start with you.
I mean, yes, technically that is true, but it's still kind of fucked up. You can't just say that,
No, I'd say it.
Will you?
Say it to me whenever you want.
No, you're too nice to be saying that kind of stuff.
That's the difference.
You believe in yourself?
I believe in myself. I love myself. Yeah, absolutely.
You love yourself?
Dude, I've loved myself so hard for like the last several years.
Good. You should love yourself because I love you.
All joking aside, like I 1000% have like I make like self-deprecating jokes constantly, right? Like that's like my sense of humor. But at no point did I ever not love myself.
Okay, that's good. That's good. Don't ever stop loving yourself. What?
I'm sorry.
See, I love myself at times, but I am honest with myself, and I do not have a fat cock. So,
What do you mean? I'm not being honest with myself because I do?
No, I'm speaking about me specifically. I'm not speaking about you. I'm just saying me personally. I lack a fat cock. I lack the chodness.
You love your skinny cock.
Well, I don't necessarily have a skinny cock. I just have like a decent cock. I'm not saying that it's like thick. I'm not saying it's why are you looking at me like that?
Just listening.
Dude, you're just staring right into my soul. It's kind of freaking me out, bro. But it's true. You know, I would say an average. I'm not even gonna say above average because it's not. It's just an average penis.
Sure.
And there's nothing wrong with that. You know,
it can still be fat.
Well, yeah. I mean, it has its moment of fatness.
With a pH.
Yeah. Well, sometimes, yeah. But you know, it's good to be honest with yourself. It's very important.
Yeah. Of course.
So, speaking of being honest with ourselves, we wanted to discuss the race. You wanted to discuss what the race.
So it's actually like.
So wait, should we just preface, like, should we explain what the race is first before we jump into this?
Yeah, for sure. Take it away.
So the race, if you guys have been following Vern and I for quite some time, the race is a Call of Duty kind of marathon charity stream that we've done with the likes of Jericho and T Martin and Ernest Lee and Hutch and who else? Am I missing anybody? I think that's the crew. That's the crew. Yeah, that's the crew. It's something that we've done for the newest releases of Call of Duty. So the newest Call of Duty's release, we've kind of done this.
Starting when? Which was the first?
It started in Black Ops 2.
Okay.
It started as kind of this race to prestige where we wanted to just be the first people to get a max prestige. We wanted to be the very first account to max prestige, and we did it with Black Ops 2, and we did it with every single Call of Duty up into, when was the last one we did? It was a Treyarch game, was it not?
World War II.
World War II was the last one we did it with?
I think so.
Yeah, so it kind of evolved over the years into something different. It was less of a race to max prestige and more became a charity event, raising money for a good cause. You know, we started working with the Call of Duty Endowment, which allowed us to raise money for veterans and help veterans when they come back over from overseas and they're struggling to find a job and get back into the workplace, into the workforce. We would help them get back and find a job. So that was kind of the whole point of it. So we really started caring less about actually getting to that max prestige. I mean, it got to the point where there were so many squads of people, and I mean, let's be honest, there were squads of professional Call of Duty players trying to do it, and we were like, okay, well, we're just a bunch of YouTubers and streamers. Let's chill, like let's relax.
I think when it started as well, like you guys, it was everyone's primary game. Like,
right.
I think Ernie was like the person who like really like that first year did it himself, and then the next year
he did it in MW3. He was number one on the leaderboard for MW3.
Yeah.
Him and Juicer were 1 and 2 in the world for a really long time. And then they had to sleep. So they lost number 1 and 2. But that was kind of where it started for sure.
Then you guys took over. But at that time, that's all anyone played. Like all of us, like me, I wasn't even a part of the race at that point. But like we were all like just really into Call of Duty and really good at the game.
Yeah.
Well above average. So like, actually racing to prestige was like attainable at that point, but then over the years I think it evolved more into this big charity event, which was huge. It was a massive charity event. Dude, I had people that worked with my dad who were like, wait, your son's Vern Notice? I seen him on the race. Like have no idea about the Twitch space, but they knew what the race was. So it was like really, really cool. And like this big charity event.
I mean, we raised well over $1 million
total.
Total. I mean, we really, really raised an amazing amount of money for that charity, which was really awesome. So apparently, Black Ops 4 was actually the last game we did it for, which makes much more sense. That sounds about right. Black Ops 4. We didn't do it
for World War II?
I think we did it for World War II, but we also did it for Black Ops 4. Did World War II come out? Dude, there's so many Call of Duty games now. I don't even know the order of them.
Messed up. I'll let chat fact check us.
Maybe it was Black. I don't know. Anyway, I don't know. You know, the question is, a lot of people ask, like, are you guys doing the race? Are we doing There was so many moving parts, and there were so many things behind the scenes that I just, unfortunately, I think it's kind of the train is derailed. So, like I said, it kind of started out as It started out as just kind of our thing. You know, the race was our baby. We named our channel The Race because we just thought it was a thing we were doing. It was, it was our channel. It was our brand. And we were like, hey, we're The Race Me,
We
T
being Brennan,
Martin,
Tucker,
yeah.
T Martin.
And
Yeah,
yeah,
Jared.
so it was kind of that crew. And so we were like, let's name it The Race. That'll be our brand. That'll be kind of our community channel where we can, play every single COD that comes out. And then it kind of like, for some weird reason, I think people misunderstood what we were trying to do. And then all of a sudden, people started taking The Race as like a challenge to everyone. And then all of a sudden, there's professional teams being put together to try to beat us. And it was like this whole competition started, which was never the goal. Like that was never our focus. Like that I
mean, at the end, it was absolutely was not.
Yeah, no. Like the last 4 years we did it, it was literally to raise money for charity.
Yeah, once it turned into a charity event, that became the primary focus. Like we were like taking breaks to do challenges and had incentives and stuff. Like we're taking breaks from like what was supposed to be a competition. But yeah, it was.
And for those of you who are not familiar, this is when we would stream Call of Duty, the brand new Call of Duty when it came out. Actually, it was sometimes a little early. And we would do it 24/7 for as long as we. So I think the first time we did it for 10 days straight. And then the older we got, the more we realized, holy shit, we have other things we have to do. We cannot do this for 10 straight days. So then it became like a 7-day thing. And then the last few times we've done it, we've taken like 3 or 4 days and we've just done it the whole time. And we take shifts and we rotate out. But at some point it kind of got taken away from us. And I don't know if it was anyone, I don't think it was an intentional thing. I don't think anyone was ill-willed, like trying to start something with us or trying to take something from us. But for some reason, the Call of Duty community as a whole kind of just took The Race from us. It kind of just it was our charity thing. It was kind of this thing that we created. And then all of a sudden they just kind of kicked us out. Like we weren't the best COD players. We play other things. COD's not our main focus. And before we know it, there's The Race to Prestige is now a thing. And there's a whole nother team running it. And they're working alongside the Call of Duty endowment. And it's like, they kind of just booted us out of our own thing that we created. So it kind of created this well, what the fuck? That's a little weird. So I think for us, it's like, I don't know. Tucker did a lot of behind the scenes. He did a lot of the work that goes on to put that on. So huge props to him. And I just think he's at the point now, he's got his own record label. He's running his stream. He's doing all the stuff he's doing. I just don't think he has the time and desire to set it up anymore. And it's just, it doesn't have the same feeling it once did. When we set out to do it, it was literally just to play COD with our friends, have a good time, raise money for charity. And now it's like this whole thing where every single year there's it almost turned into a competition, and it was not fun. It was like, no, these guys beat you and you're not the best. And it was just like this whole
actual
toxic
news articles coming out.
Yeah.
The Race, not the first. Come on.
It was this super toxic thing, and we never wanted it to become we never wanted it to be that. So we decided. I mean, we just kind of have like I said, the train is kind of derailed. It's left the station. We're just not that interested. So I cannot speak on The Race. I cannot speak. There will be no race for obviously Cold War, because I think if there was, I would definitely know about it. Then again, there's been previous races where I wasn't invited, and it was I was like, wait, I'm not invited, but The Race is my baby. It's literally mine, Tucker's, and Trevor's. We started it. So I don't know.
It's crazy to me.
Yeah. It's been a weird thing to navigate and to deal with. And I know a lot of people always ask, I constantly dude, are you guys doing the race?
Every time around this year, man.
It sucks, man.
I mean, that's what sparked this conversation in the first place. It's literally before I was streaming before we started the podcast, and somebody was in my stream and asked about the race, and it happens every single year around this time.
Yeah.
And it really for me, it sucks for me, just being invited to it the last few years, right? And I can only imagine how it feels for you guys who literally even that first, I felt betrayed. So the first year that I was invited, you guys invited me onto it, I think was Black Ops 3. And then the following year was the year that they first took it over, and Optic did their thing.
Mm-hmm.
Right. And that was really weird for me because I was like, how do they even do that? Like, how do they take it away from like they can't have a race without like the race guys, the race like the Twitch channel and stuff. And so it was like really weird for me. But then they invited us back the next year, and we ended up doing it the next year, and then the year after that, and then all of a sudden it was kind of just like too much. It became like,
Yeah.
I don't know.
Well,
it was
I mean,
rough.
there was a lot of, you know, and I get it. I do get it because like to have the backing of the Call of Duty endowment, you know, Call of Duty and Activision wanted us to do specific things. Like I remember one year, it was when Infinite Warfare came out, and that was when they remastered Modern Warfare. And we wanted to do the race and raise money. That was the year that kind of shifted everything and kind of derailed things. And that was when we were like, no, this is our channel. This is our like event that we do like every year. Sorry, we don't want to play Infinite Warfare. We want to play Modern Warfare Remastered.
We were super stoked for that.
And we were really excited. We were going to do it on that game. And we were just going to have a good time, like a nostalgic thing, right? And they basically said, no, if you don't play our new game, we won't support this event. And so that was kind of the beginning of like, okay, well, yeah, that was the beginning of the end, really. I mean, we did a few races, I think, after that with some other games. I want to give a huge shout out to kind of Treyarch specifically, man. Treyarch's always been super awesome with the race. They've even hosted us.
Studio
yeah, I mean, Treyarch.
Like,
I mean, Sledgehammer did too. We went to Advanced Warfare.
Yeah.
Sledgehammer invited us into the studio. Treyarch invited us to the studio. So that a huge shout out to them. They have been super accommodating, and they were awesome when it came to the races. I have so many great memories from Treyarch. And you know,
absolutely,
Treyarch's awesome. So
I mean, they had like devs and stuff come in and do like have conversations with us. They had like some of the voice actors and stuff at times come in. So it was really cool like having that support side of things. But when that type of support comes through from like these big companies, like obviously they're gonna want more and more control over it. And then I think it just got to the point where like they kind of took it as their own. Yeah. Which I think I'm gonna say it's kind of bullshit.
It sucks. I mean, and that happens. That happens with any type of, you know. I mean, look at it from this perspective. It's like, granted, I'm not trying to compare, you know, the race to Twitch being bought by Amazon, but it happens in every aspect, right? You have Twitch.
If there's money to be made. There's going to be a company that wants to make money off of it.
Right, and they want to control things and change things the way they want to control it. So, I mean, it happens. That's just the way life is. Is the race gone forever? Not necessarily, but I don't think we have any plans on doing the race this year or really anytime soon, because I haven't talked to Tucker about it. Like I said, Tucker's usually the one that kind of does all the behind the scenes, and he's put so much work into the race.
Workhorse, dude.
He is, and he's doing other stuff. And here's the thing: if Tucker wants to do the race, like I would be there 100%. But I don't think I have the time and frankly the patience and just like the desire to work out all the logistics behind the scenes to actually make the race happen. So for the foreseeable future, the race is going to be put on a shelf somewhere, but you never know. Maybe 1 year we'll bust the old and wipe the dust off the channel and get her going again, but we'll see. You never know.
A lot of great fucking memories.
Oh, for sure.
Even, you know, so I mean, it's still like, it's going to be like one of my favorite things I've ever been a part of. You know, I got my paddle that they gave us for 2015. In 2015, I still have my paddle like literally behind me right now. You know, so
I have mine in here somewhere too. I brought it over, but yeah, I mean that's definitely a memory. You know, I look at that, I'm like, oh man, that reminds me of all those amazing charity races we did or charity streams and just like not only the charity aspect too, but just kind of the camaraderie, come on my daddy.
Close enough.
Why can't I say that word right now?
I don't know. That's like
camaraderie.
Camaraderie.
Thank you. What? I literally just had a stroke, dude. Do you just sometimes like your brain just like words don't formulate in your brain like you think they're going to?
Send you a clip. There's been 2 moments in recent memory, like literally the last like week, where I couldn't say familiarity. I just can't say that word, like at all. Familiarity.
Dude, there's some words that are just fucking tough. Everyone has them.
Worse off though, I like finished a workout, and I've been posting all my workouts on Instagram and stuff again. And so I typed them out. You know, it was shoulder day. I type out the word shoulder, and I'm just staring at it, and I'm like, there's no way that shoulder is spelled like this. There's no way. And so I go to Google, and I type in like shoulders, and I'm like, it still looks funny. And I type in boulders, because that's how I spell shoulders, it's just boulders with an sh. And like I type in boulders, and I'm like, no, it's literally OUL. Okay. Shoulders, and that's right. And then I just am staring at it. I don't know if it was the font or what, but I was losing my mind.
Yeah, I feel that. So, you know, the brain it turns to mush sometimes. But like I was saying, I don't know, man. We just have so many good memories, even some shitty memories too, of fucking Tucker slapping me while I'm dead ass asleep, exhausted after an 8-hour shift, and I just look at him like, you're gonna fucking die. Like but like we just had all these weird moments, which in the moment I fucking hated Tucker, but like I look back and I'm like, that was kind of part of the whole experience. Like we started off in our LA house, and we were sleeping on mattresses in other rooms while the other people were streaming, and I'm pretty sure I probably drank in the span of 10 days, I probably drank about 42 Monsters. Dude, I'm not kidding, bro. I was drinking like 3 or 4 a day. The whole time.
Yikes,
the whole
dude.
fucking time. It was the only way I could function. I was drinking it like it was water.
That's yikes.
Granted,
bro.
I was like 21 years old, okay? If I did that now, I think my heart would explode.
Shit, bro. Yeah.
Dude, it was bad. And we were they sent us cases and cases and cases. No one was like monitoring what I was putting into my body at this time, all right?
Yeah.
You know,
especially not you, huh?
Yeah, especially not me. I was a piece of shit, bro. I probably put some vodka in that thing too, man.
Jesus,
no, but like,
bro, I love that we are now old and take care of ourselves.
A lot better than that, yeah. You know what? You know what's funny? And most people don't even remember this, but we also did a race for Titanfall.
Oh my God.
Juicer was a part of it.
I think that was like right after.
It was right after we did the one for Black Ops 2.
Yeah.
We were like, oh, that was fun. Let's fucking do it again. And then we did it for Titanfall. Yeah. That shit, man. That I say maybe most people don't remember this because I just remembered that we did that. I kind of blocked that one out. I remember, dude, it was so funny. So there was a challenge. We during Titanfall we wanted to like do 100%, right? We wanted to do everything. So there was a challenge where you had to headshot people as they ejected out of their Titans.
Yikes.
It was called like Skeet Shooter or something, right? And you had to do it 50 times, right? You had to do it 50 times. We fucking did it. You would have to shoot them until they ejected, and then you would have to snipe them out of the air and kill them, right? So that would be one. You had to do it 50 times. We did the fucking challenge. The next day, Infinity Ward patched it, and you only had to do it 5 times to get the challenge. We did the whole. We were like one of the only accounts to actually do the entire thing.
Dude, it's like they should have given you a special like.
Dude, right?
Gamer pick or something, like a seriously gamer pick.
I know that wasn't glitched. You actually got.
Yeah.
Jesus, dude, Titanfall is one of those things. It's so weird. Like I've always been so curious why Titanfall just didn't like have the succession that I thought it would. Like I legitimately thought that game was going to be huge when it first came out. You know,
I think it's a skill gap thing. Like it's one of those games where like if you play it on release and you progress with everyone else, like it's fun. But the moment you take a weekend off and everyone else just fucking accelerates far past you, you play other games and then you go back to it because it does play much different from a lot of other like FPS games.
I don't know though. Like I think it had something to do with the mechs. Like I feel like people don't like when they're at imagine you're new to the game, right? And you spawn in and you don't run into some dude who runs up around a corner and just shoots you like in Call of Duty. Instead, this fucking dude is in a goddamn mech suit and he's fucking just shooting you with rockets and you're running out and dying instantly, right?
I mean that goes hand in hand with it. It's so different from every other FPS,
that's
you know.
True.
But like you sign back on, even if you know how to deal with the mechs and stuff like that, you're still gonna get your ass beat. Like there's no way you're booting up Titanfall right now and like are at all competent at the game, you know?
Yeah.
And because you're just gonna get destroyed, and that's not fun.
What a great game though. Like actually though, I mean we've talked about Titanfall 2 as the story.
I was just about to say, we literally just talked about the
Yeah.
Titanfall 2 story. I don't think it was on the podcast. I think we were just talking about it on stream or something like that. But
Maybe.
it's an amazing
It's a must play.
game.
It's a must play type of game. You know what's funny? So, I mean, we're gonna talk about it a little bit because it's a game mechanic that I want to talk about. Obviously, I don't even really remember the story that much, so I couldn't spoil the story. But the game mechanic where you kind of you go between different eras, times.
Yeah.
You're like switching back and forth between times. Well, in the new Crash Bandicoot game, you do kind of the same thing. It's a similar mechanic where you hit a button and you're changing dimensions. And as soon as I started playing that in Crash, I had like this flood of memories from Titanfall 2, and I was just thinking like, this game mechanic is so like, now that I've seen it happen in a couple games, how did this not catch on like earlier? It's so smart, and you can do so many different things with it. I love it. But Titanfall 2 did it like perfectly. It was amazing. I love Titanfall 2. Yeah, again, if you've never played Titanfall 2, go play it. It's incredible.
That's what sold me on. Like the story itself, I don't even remember the story itself, but I remember having so much fun with the different game mechanics that were available in that story. That one like scene in particular where you're like glitching back and forth between times.
Yeah.
And dude, it was so smooth. It's so fun.
I mean, I missed the multiplayer too. I really enjoyed it. What's weird is I felt like I was really good at Titanfall on the multiplayer, and maybe that is because, like you said, the skill gap. It's like I understood the game way more than the new players, so I would just shit on the new players. Like it wouldn't even be fair, you know. And I think you're right. If you're just like over the hump, you're gonna absolutely crush any new players that are joining the game. And maybe that's what keeps, I mean, well, obviously that's what keeps new players from playing games, right? Like look at Gears 5. Look at the Gears show, just like, or Gears games just in general forever. The reason they can't bring in a new player base is because the game has such a large skill gap that the new players just get destroyed.
It's just such a different type of game, like that third person shooter that most people aren't used to. So they go into it expecting to be able to, like, I don't know, utilize their Halo and Call of Duty skills, and then just get absolutely rolled because there's a cover system and like all this other shit going on. So yeah.
I am not envious of game developers that have to create games and somehow create a way for these people not only to stay and play their game, but for new people to come and play their game, experience it in a way where they want to continue to play it, but also create like a balanced and satisfying experience, right? Like it's got to be so much harder than it seems from a consumer standpoint. Like, how the hell do you make a game like that?
I don't know. I don't ever want to attempt either because I don't have the mental fortitude for it. Dude, game dev in general, it just seems like it's so contingent on so many outside factors that you have no control over. Like you could make the best game ever, and if it's not the right time, the right place, like it won't do anything. True. Like how scary is that? Yeah. Like Among Us, for example. Among Us is like,
it's been out forever, right?
It came out in 2018. Among Us has been out for 2 years. They were in production for the second one. Right. And with this huge insurgence of people, resurgence?
Both. What could work?
Of people playing the game, the devs scrapped Among Us 2 and was like, oh, we're just gonna like update. At least we're gonna update Among Us. And like that's crazy to me, right? That's like this game has been out for so long. Nobody played it, and then all of a sudden 2020 rolls around and they're like, this very simplistic, just like silly game is at the top of the directory on Twitch, and it is so fun and so weird. But like as a game dev, like how do you predict that?
Yeah, you don't. I don't know. I mean that's happened. I mean, that's happened with a lot of games. I mean, Minecraft, man. I remember when Minecraft was super early in its infancy. Granted, like YouTubers grabbed it right away and it blew up very quickly. But like, you know, I remember watching a CNANers video and I was like, what the fuck is he playing? He's playing some block game, and it was a Minecraft video. And
this is for children.
And then now Minecraft is arguably one of the biggest games ever made. Like still to this day. Like, you just never know when games are going to get traction and, like, take off, or what type of game. It's just got to be in the right place at the right time. DayZ Mod, I feel like, kind of did that, too. I mean, they took an Arma 2 war simulator, you know, like an actual like simulation type game for combat, and then they were like, oh, let's make a zombie mod. I mean, well, Rocket or Dean did, you know. And I think that's so crazy to me. And then that took off, and that's what actually sold. That's what fucking sold Arma 2.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Dude, like people bought Arma 2, and then that game became only so they could play the mod. And then before they knew it, they made a standalone, and it just snowballed. And like, so you just never know what type of game is going to take off. And you're right, Among Us is like the perfect example.
You literally can't predict it. Like nothing changed with the game, right? It was just as fun back in 2018 as it is in 2020. Like nothing about the game changed, but all of a sudden, now you're selling millions of copies.
I think that's actually weird. Crazy now because, you know, think about a game like that being made like in 2006, 2007. Like there was no streaming. There wasn't really big time content creators to like get those games out to a larger audience, right? So those games could have came out, but the odds of more people finding that game was way lower. You know, and now with streamers and the amount of content creators on YouTube, now like one person, all that has to take is one person, and it could blow up and millions of people see it in just like that in one day, and then boom. That I think that's literally what happened to Among Us. I'm very curious who the person. Someone had to have been the catalyst. Yeah. The person to play it on their stream or make a video or something.
Like a streamer who was just like had someone in chat that was like, oh, we should do this on like a sub day or something like that. Like probably like to one of the bigger Twitch streamers. They played it with some friends.
My chat's telling me it was Soda popping, which I totally believe because Soda is large enough to make that type of an impact on a game.
And like other streamers are also watching his stream, and yeah, for sure.
And then it just snowballs, and then all of a sudden every single person in their fucking it's insane how it can start right there. It snowballs, and now Among Us is everywhere, dude. You can play it on your cell phone. Everyone's playing. Everyone knows Among Us, and it's a very simple game. It's one of those games that anybody can play. Yeah, maybe not well. Like some people take this shit way too fucking serious. It's not esports, all right? Jesus fucking Christ. Dude, you're not doing Among Us scrims. There's not going to be professional Among Us. I know they do, but Jesus Christ. But it's remarkable how fast those things can happen and how fast those things can blow up. But on the other side of things, it's also crazy how fast things can just die out. You know what I mean? Like Among Us could be is kind of the thing right now, but in like another month it could be something else, and nobody plays Among Us. You know, attention spans are very very small on the internet for sure. But
dude, I'm looking for Fall Guys right now because I can't remember the last time I played that. That was massive, dude.
Yeah,
massive.
Like Fall Guys, Fall Guys. I knew, like, I had a feeling that game was gonna die. You're playing the same maps over and over and over and over, right? It was kind of in the same vein as Gang Beasts for me. Like you play Gang Beasts, right? And it's when you first play, it's hilarious, so dude, it's amazing. Fucking funny, and you're dying laughing, and you're having the best time ever. You're like, that was funny as shit. And then you play it a second time, and you're like, okay, that was super funny, that was good. You play it the third time, you're like, okay, like I've played it, it's not that funny anymore. It's kind of lost its charm. Like now, you know. And then by the fourth, fifth time you've played it, you're like, okay, like no, I'm on to something else. Like, I'm good. Like I think Fall Guys is that exact same way. It was super funny, and like everyone thought it was a blast because it was like the new thing, and it was just like it was the newest flavor. But it's not the type of game that can sustain itself long term. You know, it's not a League of Legends, it's not a Fortnite, it's not a Call of Duty, it's nothing like that.
At the time we're recording this, Fall Guys currently has 11,000 viewers on Twitch, and Among Us has 169,000 viewers on Twitch. And I'm pretty sure I've seen Fall Guys viewership like above 400,000 at times.
Oh yeah,
like
I'm
during
sure.
its prime.
Oh, I'm sure. Well, especially, just specifically
when
just
like last month
when Tim was doing his thing. Tim had 300,000 viewers watching him try to get a crown. You know,
exactly.
I think that was another part of it. Is like there was like this storyline behind it that was pushing, you know, like more people. Like, wait, is Tim gonna get his crown today? Yeah, there's always a narrative. if something has a narrative, it's gonna do better. People are invested in it. People want to know more about it. So, and I think there's just so many people who are like, oh man, if Tim's playing this game, I'm gonna play it. I'm gonna try to get my crown before Tim because I'm a better gamer than Tim. It just creates this, this huge thing. So it's just, I think it's actually, this is gonna be a perfect lead into our some of these other topics that I have. So
I love that.
I want to talk. I don't even think we've talked about it. The Xbox Series X and the S, the new consoles, the PlayStation 5. I mean, maybe we have talked about it a little bit, but I don't think we've done really no deep dive.
A lot has come out. A lot has come out. So I hope you wrote stuff down because but when it comes to like specs and like price points and stuff like that,
I don't necessarily I don't have the specs or like the price points. I mean, you can, if you're listening to this, you can do a Google search. They're everywhere. Everyone's been talking about it. I think the big thing for me was like, how do you feel about this next generation of consoles? Like, do you feel like we're making a leap? Are you happy with it? Are you excited for it? Do you think it's just going to be like slightly improved graphics? Like, how do you feel about it?
So initially, like I stopped getting excited for console releases like forever ago.
Yeah.
I think when I had to start buying my own consoles was when I stopped getting excited for them because I was just like I knew it was something I had to do because of my career choice, So it became like this thing where I was just like, okay, it's I got to fork over another few $100s, to make sure that I'm staying up on everything and
right.
and blah, blah, blah. But the more I see from PlayStation and Xbox in regards to these new consoles, the more excited I get.
Yeah.
Like it really does feel like we are going to be taking a massive leap. Especially I think 2K is a perfect example of it. I've been flaming the shit out of 2K for releasing 2K21 on current gen consoles as a literal like copy paste of 2K20, and it's a $60 games, and I've been flaming the shit out of them on my stream, mostly because I want to preface this by saying that like when I'm very, very critical of a game that I continually play, it's because I want the best out of it and I have such high expectations for it. It's not because every single time you've ever heard me say like this is a dog shit game in regards to like 2K or
it's
like
a game you like.
Even it's a game I fucking love and I just want in that particular moment for it to be better. And so I expect it to be better. And so I flamed the shit out of 2K when it first came out on this generation of consoles. But the more and more they release about like now that the initial burn of like them like forcing people to fork over money for the current state of the game has been like subsided, I'm so stoked for the next generation of 2K21, and they keep releasing like little trailers and stuff on their Twitter, and it's been very exciting, and I got very high hopes for that because it looks fun as shit. So, and like I honestly feel like they are going to be able to compete with PCs. Like, obviously you can go out and spend like $10,000 on a PC and like no console is going to be able to touch it. But to be able to produce something that is available to the masses at a decent price point, like the consoles have become more and more expensive. But I'm pretty sure when I heard PS5,
no, the price points are not as bad as I expected. I mean, I think the new PS5 is 500. No, 600. Yeah. I think 500 or 600.
The digital edition for the PlayStation 5 is only $399, and the other
is $499.
$499, which is like not bad considering that PlayStation 3 and Xbox Ones I think were like upwards of like $700.
Well, when the PlayStation 2 came out, or was it the PS3? No, when the PS3 came out, it was $600.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah.
And so like you think like, oh, they're taking this massive leap in like ability once more, like they're gonna take a massive leap in price point too, and it actually is very comparable to or even better than consoles past. I think the big jump and what is absolutely amazing about this next generation of consoles is not necessarily the visual aspect of like the graphics themselves, like how good things look. It's how smooth things look and how smooth games run. I think a big jump from 30 and 60 FPS, like the fact that these consoles are gonna be able to go up to 120 FPS is fucking massive. And there are so many people who have been gaming their whole lives and have never experienced anything over 60. And like, I'm literally looking at you, Vern, because you probably still play most of your shit at 60 FPS.
There are some people who actually have never experienced gaming at a higher refresh rate than 60. And once you go over that and you see just how much smoother and more improved everything feels, it's absolutely game changing. Like, you can't go back. It's very hard to go back. And I think, you know, I mean, for me, like, I played on consoles for my whole childhood. I didn't have money for a computer. Like, the computers that I did have, like, I didn't play FPS games on because they just didn't run properly, right? I had shitty hand-me-down PCs. So I always had a console. And then I finally got my first true gaming PC when I was like 19 years old, when I was like, oh, I have some extra cash, I'm going to build a PC. Actually, fun fact, I got a grant. And I spent a lot of it on a new PC. Don't do that.
As one does.
Don't do that. Anyways.
Well, grants you don't have to pay back, right?
Yeah. Well, you didn't have to pay anything back, and I got my PC, so fuck yeah, bro. Thanks.
Perfect. Calculated.
And, you know, in my mind, I was like, well, I'm going to use the PC for school. And then I dropped out like 6 months later. So anyway, so yeah, I built my first PC, and that was eye-opening to me. It was like, oh, wow, consoles just can't come close to a PC. Right. But I think you're right. This is comparable. Like, this is getting close to what not low end, but like medium tier PCs are capable of.
Which you would spend like upwards of $1,000 on a PC
for sure.
And now these consoles are coming at you at $400, $500, and it's like I think that's what was like always so like important for consoles. Like, growing up, like, they were just so accessible. Like, all of my friends had either like a PlayStation or an Xbox. They were easy, they were convenient, you didn't have to worry about specs or anything like that. It was all standard, and like, you just go and you get it. Like, you get an Xbox for Christmas, you get a GameCube for Christmas, you get a PlayStation for your birthday, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And like, jumping into PCs and how they're like ever evolving, right? It was like so hard because you spend all this money on a PC and it's completely outdated in 6 months. Doesn't say it's worthless in 6 months, but it's like this ever evolving thing. Whereas like consoles just like level the playing field. And now I think they're like taking such a drastic leap forward that it's going to go back. I think consoles are going to do really, really well this year. I mean, the pre-orders were insane.
I mean, consoles have always done well, right? I mean, like you said, it's just consoles are plug and play. Like, you literally can sit down in your living room, wherever the hell you want. You have a TV, plug in, power, boom, turn it on, you're good to go. Like, that's all you need. You don't need any knowledge of a PC. You don't need to know how to do anything else besides turn it on and hit some buttons, right? It's made for everyone. Consoles, I mean, they're consoles are what the vast majority of, like, I feel like, like a not necessarily gamers, but like a normal consumer, like your everyday Joe. Okay. It's like
casual,
you know, casual gamers, I would say, are more console based. You know, they're entry level.
Agreed.
But and you know, for the hardcore gamers, obviously PC is always going to be there, and it's going to be obviously better because you're paying more money to have it be better. But I think you're right. I think this is going to be actually a huge leap for gaming. I think last gen, you know, when the Xbox One came out and the PlayStation 4 came out, there was a small jump. Like, the games definitely looked better, you know, but I didn't feel like it was like this huge leap, right? And maybe that's because I had already been playing games on PC, but I never felt a huge leap in it.
You know what I think it was is that these console companies, Sony and Microsoft in particular, they really wanted to go to like create this all-in-one
media
media machine,
right?
Yeah. When their user base wants to play fucking video games,
right. And
so like that's what they were selling to us, like, oh, you can watch movies, we got all these apps and blah blah blah. And yeah, like, it's cool and people use it for like Netflix and stuff and YouTube and stuff, but like at the end of the day, you buy an Xbox so you can play Xbox games on it, right? And everything else is just secondary. And then they push these consoles, and like I said, it wasn't a drastic leap in gaming,
right?
It was a drastic leap in maybe like home entertainment, but as far as like gaming and consoles and like just gaming consoles, it just wasn't. And then I was also very, very like curious how it was going to do after Microsoft announced like all their exclusives will be available on PC as well.
Mm-hmm.
At first I was like, I don't I don't see a point in having a console.
Yeah, I mean,
Unless it's for exclusives.
I still don't really understand that either. I mean, obviously, I'm happy about it. I'm super fucking happy. Like I obviously will have an Xbox. Like I'm sure I will use it in some capacity. But if I can play the same game on my PC, I'm going to play the game on PC. Period. Like I'm not going to play it on my Xbox.
See, I'm the opposite now. I'm this year, like right now in its current state, I'm completely with you. But I'm so happy that I can just plug in and play, not have to worry about settings or anything like that. I can play it on my new Xbox console and not have to like feel like I'm sacrificing much from the PC experience. Like I really don't feel like I'm going to be missing out on much.
Okay, I can kind of agree with you. It depends on the game. It depends on the game, and it also like the type of game, right? Like for me personally, I don't like playing FPS, like a shooter on a controller. I just won't do that. So if it's a shooter and I can play it on my PC, I'm going to do that. But if it's a game, you're right. Maybe if it's like if Rocket League comes out and it was the same thing and I was like, oh, I can just play it on my Xbox and have which I can right now. I can have this same exact experience. Then sure, maybe I would think about just playing it on Xbox or like 2K. I can play 2K on PC, but we all play it on PS4.
I mean, that's for a whole different slew of reasons.
Sort of. I mean, I don't play NBA 2K for the visuals. You know, I play.
But you don't. I mean, PC. It's just not a good experience.
Right. I mean, maybe that's a bad example, but it's similar to that. It's like, I don't know. I'm very curious to see how that will affect I don't think it's actually going to affect Xbox sales because, you know, I still think the console is going to sell well. But for me, like, I'm just curious what games I'll play on it. You know, I'm probably going to play the vast majority of games that they release on my computer. So we'll see, though. Maybe not, you know. And again, Xbox, I think, has always had this notion of they want to be the center focus of a living room, right? Like, even the Xbox One had an HDMI pass-through for your satellite or, like, for your cable. So, like... So your TV guide was on the Xbox. Their whole thing was to be the center of attention for the living room setup, you know, your family. And I think they still technically want to do that. And so the people who want to like truly play their games at like whatever on PC and be that true gaming focus, they can do that on computer. Or like the vast majority of probably families and people who have an Xbox, they can still just sit down and play on a couch, which is super sick. So I think I don't know if in the long run that will hurt them, but I think it will, just because now PlayStation has such an obvious advantage in terms of exclusives. Because now, you know what I mean? Like even like think about PlayStation 4 and Xbox One. The PlayStation 4 had way better exclusives long term. Over the course of the lifespan of the PlayStation 4, it crushed in terms of exclusives.
But Microsoft just acquired Bethesda. We can talk about that in a second, but I think that's massive because if you look at the Xbox 360 and the PlayStation 3, Xbox destroyed it in exclusives. I think me and you pretty much basically played Xbox 360 exclusively. Yeah. And there was like maybe like The Show was out on PlayStation 3, right? MLB The Show. And then
I only played I bought a PS3 to play exclusives. That's literally why I bought it. But I did not have a PlayStation 3. I used Xbox 360 exclusively, pretty much.
Yeah. And then like this jump, like PlayStation, Sony just had like so many amazing titles that they had exclusively on PlayStation for PlayStation 4. But now I feel like the tides are turning again because Xbox still has all of their normal like AAA games and like Gears, Halo, like all of those IPs, but now they have Bethesda's entire lineup as well.
I don't know if they're going to go exclusive with Bethesda's lineup. I'd be very curious to see if they do that.
Really?
I mean,
I thought that was why they acquired them.
I mean, maybe. I don't know. I mean, you're right. That would from a business standpoint, that to rival PlayStation's exclusives, them acquiring Bethesda and then now Elder Scrolls is exclusive to Microsoft. Fallout, like that's big, right? They just grabbed a bunch of IPs essentially, which is a super smart move if they're trying to go up against Sony's exclusives. I do agree with that, but a part of me feels like they're not going to do that. I don't know why. Like I feel but maybe they will.
Xbox has been like at the forefront of like crossplay as well too. They've always
they
pushed
have
for
been
that.
more than Sony.
Yeah, Sony has been the one that has been pushing back on that, and I think it's becoming more of the standard now. So maybe they don't. Maybe they're still for that entire thing, and they just know that Bethesda is going to make a shit ton of money, and so they wanted their hands in that.
Yeah.
So that could be. But
I don't know. I mean, either way, if they do make it console exclusive, so we got to remember to use that. Exclusive would just mean Xbox only, but Microsoft is very focused on console exclusive, where it's exclusive to the Xbox, but it's not exclusive. Like PC can still play their games, right? It's not just exclusive to the Xbox itself. So, which obviously as a PC gamer, I absolutely fucking love that Microsoft has done that. I am so thankful. I think that is huge. I wish Sony would do the same thing, but I also see why they don't, because we would feel the same way about a PlayStation. We'd be like, why would we buy a PlayStation if we can play it all on PC, right? Like, why would we do that? Granted, it's a little different because we're talking about Sony versus Microsoft, who obviously makes Windows, and it makes a little bit more sense why they would do that.
It's still their medium. You know, it's still their platform.
They're still making, Microsoft itself is still making money off those games. Yeah. So it makes sense. But if Sony could do that, dude, imagine playing some of the Sony exclusives on PC. Granted, they especially some of the ones that we already feel have just been so incredibly beautiful. Like I'm thinking like the newest God of War. I'm thinking the Uncharted series. Like I'm thinking any of their.
I feel like the single player games you will have a similar or potentially even better experience on console this year.
Maybe. I mean, you know, if it's made for console and to be kind of played in that way, then yes, I could see that. I mean, for example, like the, Spider-Man Miles Morales game. I mean, watching the footage at the PlayStation presser was, I mean, visually that game looked fucking gorgeous. Like one of the best looking games I'd ever seen. And I was like, okay, holy fuck. Like that visually is a huge jump. And this is just launch day of the new consoles, right? And they always make a leap, right? I mean, we can think of, look at what the PlayStation 4 did towards the end of its life cycle compared to the beginning. Like just visually. And that's on the exact same hardware.
Yeah.
So what they're able to do years and years later with the same hardware is pretty remarkable. So I truly do think that this next generation of consoles is going to actually push us into truly the next gen of gaming itself. And so I guess
I agree.
So I guess that kind of leads me into my next questions, my next set of questions is, where do you see gaming going like in 10, 20, 30 years? Like look at where gaming was just 10 years ago. 20. Okay, think about just your lifetime. Think about how gaming was when we were kids. Like literally we were kids when the Atari was a thing, right? Like the NES, Sega Genesis, like shit like that, And think about it now, just in our lifetime, where's it going to be in another 20, 30 years?
I don't know. I don't think it's obviously gonna change, right? But I still think in like 20 years, there's still gonna be like controllers in like consoles and stuff like that. I don't think it's gonna like take this massive leap where it's like all VR, like all this, it's all about an experience, right? And I don't know, unless like some massive leaps, because when I play a video game, I think VR is like very, very like it reaches like a niche community, because like you have to have a massive room to do it in, or like you have to it's very specific. I remember playing Resident Evil 7, I think, on PlayStation VR, but I was sitting down and I was controlling with a controller, but I could look around with the headset.
Right.
And it was an awful experience.
You didn't like that?
Like no, because I knew that my feet weren't moving, like I wasn't walking.
Right.
And it was like, it almost gave me a nauseous feeling.
Disorienting.
And so, yeah, it was very, very disorienting. So I think unless it becomes like way more accessible to like actually like have that, but also when I'm playing games, like sometimes I just want to like chill out, lay down, and just like
Right. The last thing you want to do is
like,
fucking be mobile and run around and move and do all the duck
yeah.
and dive. I agree.
So it's about like creating that experience for the gamer, and like not be like too overwhelming almost, you know. So I don't think I obviously it's going to continue to make leaps forward and stuff like that, but I don't think it's going to be like how movies and stuff depict it, where we like plug ourselves into a chair and all of a sudden we're taken away to like this virtual like Ready Player One.
Well, so I think the difference is VR versus AR. So virtual reality versus augmented reality, right? So augmented reality, I mean, if you really get down into it, like I think augmented reality is probably more of the future of gaming than virtual reality, in the sense that you can, I agree with you. I don't fucking want to move around and shit. I really don't. I don't necessarily like, I know there's suits where you can like, you stand up and then it's like it's almost like a treadmill, right? It's like a moving platform and you can move like that, but fuck, I'm trying to play video games. Like I'm literally trying to sit back in my chair and I'm trying to fucking just chill. I'm just, I feel like there's a limit, right? I think you're right. It's where how do we have these immersive gaming experiences where we're moving and shooting and jumping and doing all these things, but if we're not controlling it with our hands and we're somehow like, it's going to make us sick. Like if we can, like you said, you were able to look around, but you were moving, but you weren't moving your real physically, so it's disorienting. So I don't know if there's a way to make it so it's not disorienting and it's implemented easier. But like we have to be able to figure that out in the future if we're really gonna take gaming to a whole new level. Because right, you've seen it in so many movies. You know, like these people laying down and they've got screens 360 degrees and they're in the game. I mean, Ready Player One is a perfect example of that, and that's like a full touch suit. And you have all these, you know, sensors on it. And granted, this is all fucking Hollywooded up. So he's just like running around. You know, it looks like he's in this virtual world. But obviously, there's no fucking way for that to be like that. Right. Unless they somehow make a way to literally go into your brain, to trick your brain into thinking you're actually in this world when you're not, right? Yeah. That's like, not even a jump in technology. That's a jump in science.
So yeah. So two examples. One, Hollywood in general. You said it's not like Hollywood, but like movies. Gaming is just like another entertainment platform that people consume, right? But you look at movies in Hollywood and stuff. Like how much has like movies evolved, and they're still like one of the most consumed entertainment platforms ever, right? Yeah. You know, like you know, like people, it's still just people going and acting out characters and like playing, like portraying stories. You know, they're like the leap in advancement is like almost non-existent. What like it's in color now, like you know what I mean?
Well, I mean, the things you see a leap in advancement are CGI.
Yeah.
You know, visual like aspect, everything looks more realistic. That's the big thing. The only thing which leads me, like the future of movies is very interesting to me because CGI has, I mean, we already are seeing CGI remakes of people that look fucking real, dude, but it's not a real person. We're already seeing that in 2020. So in another 20 years, does that mean like technology will be so advanced in terms of CGI that there will be complete movies where we don't even need fucking actors? Like it's honestly kind of getting there. Granted, it's not there yet. There's still like in one of the Star Wars movies, they obviously had some CGI and you can tell it's CGI, especially but there's times where if someone doesn't tell you, you might not notice it. Yeah. Right. Agreed. So in another 20 years, what the fuck? Like, do we even need actors?
It's just a video game that we don't have to play.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, exactly. But like at that point, you might just need voice actors. You might just need people in mocap suits that can, you know, they don't even need to look like the actual CGI actor. They can just do the voiceovers. And like you said, that's a video game. That's literally a fucking video game. That's how they do cutscenes in games. So it's getting there. I don't know, man. But I think you're right. Technology has its limits, so it has to be a change in actual science, like a Neuralink, right? Like something that you can put into
Like
your
in Black Mirror.
brain,
That
like
was gonna be
Black
the
Mirror
second one.
shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, like it has to be to that extent. So, will we ever get there in our lifetime? Fucking maybe. I don't know. I mean, I kind of like.
Look, I'm not a doctor.
I don't know, man. I think that would be. It would be one. It would be kind of terrifying, but it would be equally as like incredible to be a part of and witness like that type of leap where legitimately we could like put something like on our head and it somehow connects us to like a virtual world through just our brain. And I mean, our brain is a very, 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 very incredibly powerful thing. Like if we can somehow tap into that and there's things we can do to make our brain feel like these things are real, then like, you know, I don't know what is possible when it comes to like VR and AR and shit like that. So
I'll tell you what, I'm not about to be the guinea pig,
bro,
for that type of shit.
Oh no,
It's
me
like,
neither.
Bro,
Fry your
like,
brain.
Yeah, it's gonna be like, oh, dude, like cigarettes. Oh, it's just this cool thing, and all of a sudden it's murdering people.
I don't know. I think, I mean, I'm definitely into that shit. Like if like the Ready Player One whole aspect, like I watched that and I'm like, this better fucking be real in my lifetime. Like I want to fucking put a fucking thing on my head. I want to be taken into a virtual world and I want to fucking be any type of character I want. I want to go onto an FPS battlefield and like in my brain do fucking backflips and shoot and do crazy shit. Like I love Ready Player One because that is the epitome of like my dream as like an actual gamer. Like if that could be what video games are like, count me the fuck in. That shit's dope. You know, like I want to play a real life RPG. I want to go around looting and killing fucking goblins and shit. Like that would be the most incredible fucking experience.
In-game.
I would,
In-game.
but then again, I'm like, yeah, in game, obviously. And I'd be like, would I get obsessed with it? Would I ever want to leave it? That's the next question I have. Like, would I just love it so much that I wouldn't even want to experience real life outside of it? Which obviously is what Ready Player One is like, right?
I mean, there's people that have like become that addicted to games in its current state.
Right,
you know?
right.
So people are susceptible to that. You know, there's like you hear stories, not all the time, but I remember growing up, I heard multiple stories of like people falling in love with like their World of Warcraft character, or people dying because they literally are on a 36-hour bender, 72-hour bender, and have only consumed energy drinks in that time. You know what I mean?
Crazy.
So it's like people are susceptible, and then it comes like to like it's an ethical question. Like, do these companies produce this because they know it's going to make money? Or do we not even touch it because it's going to be the downfall of humanity? Imagine video games being the downfall of humanity.
Well, I mean, what movie is it? What Disney, is it WALL-E? Where they like go and they're all just fucking looking at screens and they're all fat as shit and they're all plugged in and none of them are actually in reality. I mean,
are actually living life.
Yeah, they're not. They literally are hooked up to like machines. It's true. It's all you need is like a food tube, an IV, and a catheter. You know, and keep you alive.
You don't need a food tube, an IV will do it.
True. That's true. Just pump shit in there, bro. Well, I mean, the catheter probably. You don't want to piss all over yourself.
Dude,
shit all over yourself.
Hey, we don't have a digestive system at this point. We've evolved past it.
Oh, really? We've evolved. Shit, bro. Okay. Cool. Anyway,
I mean, you think about it. We're now all of a sudden like perma IV drips. We don't need, our body is just consuming everything that they put in, and there's no excess waste, and we eventually stop shitting.
Nice. I'm down. No, dude, I really like shitting. Sometimes,
you're
dude,
talking to the king.
Sometimes, like, I am really excited about a good poo, you know? Like, a good poo feels so good. It's just very satisfying.
Bro, I literally just had this conversation on my stream, but it was a conversation I had with Nova the other day because she was giving me shit because my stomach was hurting. You know, it was a little rumble in my tummy. And instead of just like attempting to fart in front of her, I excused myself to the bathroom and I was like, I'm going to go try and take shit. And then I came out and I was like, nope, no dice. And she was like, you don't know? Like, you don't know when you have to shit?
Yeah, that is kind of weird. You don't know when you have to shit, bro?
I do know. And if I stayed in there any longer, I probably would have eventually shit. But it was just a waste of time at that point. But look, as someone who's been on this earth almost 30 years, like I'm just not gonna risk it. Okay, I'm not gonna trust farts that shouldn't be trusted.
Amen, brother. Been there.
I'm not gonna shit myself.
Had a recent experience where I was in the bathroom and I was like, oh, I have a fart. That was close, bro. Good thing I was in the right spot for the job.
And that's the thing too. Like sometimes it'll be just like a normal fart, and I'm lucky I'm in the bathroom because you know.
Yeah, I feel that, man. Sharting's scary. Really life-changing moment. When you shart you will, and when you do shart yourself, you're gonna look yourself in the mirror and be like, "Fuck, dude, I'm at the sharting age."
No, I'm not taking no chances.
Oh, it'll happen. It'll fucking happen, bro. I thought I would never shart myself. I thought it was so ridiculous that anyone could even mistake a fart and then think, trust me, you're gonna shit yourself one day, and I want you to text me immediately, be like, bro, today was the day I sharted.
I ain't the one.
Yeah, well, it'll happen.
Never happen to me.
I can't wait for you to wake up to reality, bro, with shit in your undies.
Imagine being this type of friend. I can't wait for you to shit yourself.
You're gonna shit yourself, and it's gonna be a glorious
I hope
day.
You never shit yourself again because it was a very traumatic experience
for you.
It
wasn't traumatic. It wasn't traumatic at all.
Yeah, what do you do with the undies?
I mean, clean them, bro. What the fuck? What would you do if you sharted?
Toss them in the fucking trash. That's a disgrace. Now every time you wear those underwear, it's just a constant reminder of the time you shit yourself.
Yeah, exactly. It's a good reminder. Got a brown little stain in there. You know, it's good. It's a good memory, honestly. You know, it's honestly kind of like it's those represented the next chapter. This is post shart. This is post shart life. You know? Post shart life. That honestly, if I ever write a book, that's gonna be one of the chapters. Post shart life. Where my life completely changed.
3 years post shart. So much has changed.
Jesus fucking Christ, dude.
I now bring an extra pair of underwear everywhere I go.
Dude, I actually, when I pack for anywhere, I always bring like 3 or 4 extra pairs of underwear. Everywhere. You just never know. You just never know.
Dude, I'll be in a certain location for a weekend. That's 3 days, including like the clothes I have on. I'm packing like 2 pairs of pants, 4 shirts, and 7 pairs of underwear.
Always. You just never know, dude. You never know what's gonna happen. And I'd rather be over prepared than under prepared, and then not have any fucking clean underwear. Because then you're just in a shit fucking position.
Literally. You want to hear a real shit position that I put myself in regards to underwear and travel one year? So I had needed to buy new underwear. I had like 2-3 pairs like clean for my trip, and I was just with the intention of buying like new underwear like before I left. And so I go to the store like literally last minute. Of course, it's fucking last minute. I go to the store, and this is before like I wash all my clothes before. Like now, if I buy clothes from the store, I'm washing them before I put them on. But
that's good.
I go to the store and I buy a pack of underwear, and I'm putting them like all in my bag, and I realize that I purchased a children's large. These bitches don't even go over a thigh, okay? And now they're like some of my only underwear I have available for this trip. I ended up having to go to a store, like I think it was at a PAX. I had to go to like a store in like Seattle or some shit.
Bro, that went a totally different direction than I expected. I thought you were gonna say you bagged it and there was like shit stains on one, I was about to be so grossed out, dude. I'd be like, motherfucker, someone returned it with shit stains on it, bro. No,
that's so ignorant.
That's so nasty. What if though? I'm sure that's happened.
But it was just like, bro, that's why you don't fuck around with underwear, man. You just always got to be ready.
Dude, I just bought some new underwear that's like kind of silky.
Feel good?
I haven't tried it yet, but I have a feeling it's going to be glorious for my balls.
I love that for you.
Thank you. I really appreciate that. I'm excited to wash them and wear them and experience just greatness on my testicles. But, you know, that's for next podcast. I'll let you know how that goes.
Keep the boys cozy.
Dude, extra cozy. So... the Lakers are NBA champions.
Dude.
LeBron James, 4th ring. Yeah, I mean, I expected it as well, but I was hoping for a game 7. You know, I was hoping for a good game 6, not a fucking blowout, but it's to be expected. I I was actually kind of shocked that the Heat were able to win Game 5. So
that's what I was gonna. What wasn't expected is the Heat putting up the fight they did.
Yeah,
bro. I've never. Jimmy Butler, dude. I hope he wins a ring in his life, like his NBA career.
for sure, for sure. I mean, he was impressive. He really kind of. I would, after that series against the Lakers and seeing the numbers he put up and seeing what he did on both sides of the ball, like I actually feel like he looked a lot like fucking Kawhi Leonard did in that finals run with him and the Raptors. Like just how dominant he was on both sides of the ball was just actually incredible to me. There's not a lot of people
around him. You know,
I know, just
and
so many young players.
Amazing basketball. Exactly. They're all amazing basketball players, right? But like it's like relatively unknowns. Like Bam just came into his own. Like Tyler Hero's a rookie. Robinson came from the G League, right?
Duncan Robinson. I'm not sure where he came from exactly, but he's shooter. One of the phenomenal shooter.
And like all of these pieces just
Kendrick
came together
Nunn.
so perfectly. But Jimmy Butler was like the only like bona fide all-star on the team.
Yeah. I
think he might be the only all-star on that team.
Yeah. I'm thinking like Dragic, but Dragic got injured. That was unfortunate. I mean, he was definitely Dragic is like kind of their dude.
Has Dragic made an all-star team?
I don't know if he made the all-star team. He's one of those guys that's like low-key nasty, but kind of is like a sleeper. Like Bam was an all-star, wasn't he? Was he an all-star?
I don't think so. This year?
I don't know. Either way, I mean, there's only one superstar on that team. We can all agree on that, and that's Jimmy Butler. Jimmy Butler is incredible at basketball. And it's funny because I think at the beginning of the season, like that narrative, like Jimmy Butler's super toxic.
Yeah.
You know, he's like, he was having issues in Philly. And then, he went to Miami and everyone was like, oh God, what's going to go here? Dude, everything I've seen, the culture there, like how that team got along.
Absolute leader, dude.
They completely blew all the expectations out of the water. I don't think anyone thought the Miami Heat, that squad, was going to go all the way to the NBA Finals and take LeBron James and AD and the Lakers to a Game 6. I don't think anyone expected that. So I think at the end of the day, none of those dudes should be upset. They had an incredible fucking season.
And they're only going to get better, dude.
And they're only going to get better.
These are a bunch of young dudes who are still developing, and I'm so excited to see what they do next year. So excited.
I expected the Raptors to get back to the finals last year. I thought they were capable. I mean, I think I had it down to Raptors, Bucks, or the Celtics. Those were my top three teams in the East. And obviously, I had Miami up there obviously towards the end of the season because I saw how they were playing and I saw the type of team they were. But I did not think that they were better than the Raptors or the Bucks. I thought they had the potential.
Were on your radar?
The Sixers weren't really on my radar that much. Like they've been, I don't know, man. I don't know what it is with that team. Like I feel like they have obviously some major pieces, but there's something going on there.
Dude, that's on paper. On paper, they always look like they're about to be so good, and and they were getting so lucky with draft picks and shit like that too. And so every single year they just continue to improve, and they were doing really well in the off season. Like they picked up Jimmy Butler and they got Tobias Harris, and
and they have Al Horford now.
Yeah, you think they're filling these gaps, and then like just shit. It's a shitstorm over there.
Yeah. So I don't know. Like I think they have the talent for sure. I just don't know what they're missing. They're missing something though to be a true like top team in the East. I mean, during the regular season, they go off. They beat good teams. Like they have the potential to be a great team. There's just something not clicking there, and I don't know obviously what it is. If I did, maybe I'd be being paid millions of fucking dollars to figure it out and fix them. But I don't know. I still think that they have the potential to be a top, possibly the best team in the East. They just got to put it all together. The West, I mean, like I did not think the Lakers, I'll be honest, I didn't think the Lakers were going to win it this year until I didn't. I thought the Clippers were going to be better than the Lakers, but obviously like midway through the season, I've kind of changed, like my opinion of it changed because I saw what LeBron and AD were able to do together, because I did not think those two were going to be able to like become such great teammates. I thought AD was going to be kind of, I'm the number one, I need to be the best player on the team, and I thought they would clash, but I underestimated LeBron's ability to kind of build a team. Like, he really is such a good leader, and he can bring so many people together, and he can kind of go, hey, AD, we need you to be this type of player for us. Let's be this type of player, right? Like, I think I underestimated that aspect of LeBron.
I feel like LeBron like really likes getting his team involved. You know what I mean? And I don't know, dude.
Oh, dude, prime example. Game 5, Lakers have a chance to win it. LeBron drives, has 4 defenders on him, and who does he pass it to? Danny Green, who's been absolute shit all finals long, but he trusts in his teammate. Passes it to Danny. Danny bricks it, misses, right? And the one. Okay, wait, hang on. Yeah, exactly. Timeout. I make jokes, right? I'm like, oh God, dude, why the fuck would you pass it to Danny Green? He's been asshole series long. He really did not play well in the finals, right? Sure. Do I think Danny Green is a phenomenal basketball player at the end of the day? Yes, he obviously he's playing with LeBron James. He's done amazing things. He's already won a championship, 2 championships. He won one with the Raptors and one with the Spurs, right?
Spurs, yeah.
So this guy is a championship type of basketball player. He's incredible at basketball, but to take it a step further and like fucking send death threats to his fucking wife and him because he missed a shot in a basketball game is absolutely fucking ridiculous.
It's psychotic. It's literally psychotic. Yeah. It's the type of people that like
they're sickos, bro.
Separate like a game from reality.
Right.
And like if like they actually need like help, because that is not okay.
Yeah.
And like, dude, insane. So yeah, I feel bad like making the joke. Like, as a sports fan, you know, like shit like that happens and like you crack jokes about it or whatever.
Yeah.
But then some people just go and take it way too far and actually make it fucking serious. You know, like this is like now this man like has to fear for his fucking like his family.
Yeah, shit. I named my stream that night Danny Green and the Wreck, right?
Oh, and you played like
and
it
I
too.
played like it. I was ass. That was one of the worst nights I think I've ever played in the Wreck. But like that's like a joke, right? That's for the meme. Like, you know, he missed a shot. At the end of the day, basketball is a literal fucking game. It's a kid's game. You know, like this is it's just a game that we're playing. But it I couldn't believe that people took it that far. So anyways, like I was saying, I didn't expect the Lakers to really win it all until I thought the Nuggets might pull shit out and beat them. I thought, you know, I really wish we would have been able to see Clippers versus Lakers and actually see that clash. But man, I don't know what the hell happened over there for this other Los Angeles team, but the Clippers really fell short of expectations over there. That was rough. I mean,
PG had like probably the worst like playoff run of his life.
Playoff P, man. I don't know about that, but yeeks. Yeah. I mean, it's PG's fault, but then I mean, look at Kawhi's last game in the playoffs. I mean, he was awful. He shot horribly. So I don't know. It's.
I mean, but that's when you have to rely on like your other. I feel like
superstar to pick things up, and he didn't show up. You know? Yeah. Well, that's the thing. If you're gonna talk all that,
to do everything.
If you're gonna talk that big game and call yourself playoff P and talk like you're one of the best players, you better fucking back it up.
You have
to. You have
to.
Or otherwise, I don't think people are gonna take you very seriously. But.
And you're a detriment to your team.
Yeah. I mean, you know me. I truly thought the Detroit Pistons were going to win it all this year, but unfortunately, they couldn't get it done.
Look, if we were not plagued by injuries, we are absolutely top 2 teams in the East. Top 2.
Behind who? Wait, who? There's only
start of the season.
There's only one team better than you in the East, and who's that?
Yeah, it would have been the Raptors.
So wait, you're better than the Bucks when you're healthy?
Absolutely, yeah. The Bucks, dude, the Bucks are so overrated. I'm so sick of it, bro. Giannis has every fucking right to be MVP, dude. He's amazing. He's the future of the league. He's going to be, if he's not right now, the best player in the league. Okay?
Oh, he's the best player in the league for sure.
Fair. Then why did the Bucks lose?
Well, he can't win it all.
But they got pieces, bro. Bucks are supposed to be. They finished with the best record in the East, bro. They're dog shit. Super overrated.
What do you think it takes for the Bucks to get there?
They don't. Giannis needs to get the fuck out.
Giannis needs to go somewhere else, huh?
Yeah, to the Pistons, baby.
Yeah. Come on, bro. Chill. Dude, here's the thing. Culture is so important to getting players to your team, right?
Yeah.
So again, we can actually go back to the beginning of this season when we found out Melo is coming to the Blazers. I think Melo coming to the Blazers, having the kind of the success that he had this season, it really on a national level changed kind of the outlook I think a lot of people have about Portland. And so I think a lot of other players see that like, oh shit, you know, they gave Melo a chance. Melo did great things for the Blazers, you know, and I think that actually elevated Portland even more. Like now I think more players see that and they're like, oh, I'm not actually scared of that. Like Portland seems like a good place to play.
Dude, absolutely. I mean, there's like destination teams for sure. Like Miami,
everybody wants to play for Miami or Miami, Los Angeles.
LA,
These big major cities that have things outside of just basketball that keep them there. But like, so I feel like this season specifically, like Portland's a small market team. Like a lot of people aren't like, man, I want to go live in Portland, Oregon. You know, but I think that's actually starting to change. So what I'm saying is I think that something like that needs to happen with Detroit. Like you need a player to be able to do that for your city as well and kind of change the culture.
If you look at our most recent championship team and like when we found success, it was a bunch of like these like
misfits.
Yeah, kind of.
I mean, you literally got Sheed, you know? Yeah. Sheed was a part of, I mean, you guys, I don't know if you were misfits though.
Our core, dude.
Kinda.
I don't know. Outside, like before they came to Detroit, none of them were all-stars.
Oh, Rashid wasn't an all-star for...
Rashid was, but I'm talking about like the core before, because Rashid came halfway through that championship season.
Yeah.
It was Chauncey Billups, Rip Hamilton.
Chauncey wasn't an all-star?
I don't think before he came to Detroit.
No.
He played in on the Celtics and the Timberwolves, I think. Dude, I don't even remember what team he
finish his career for the Clippers?
No,
I swear he played for the
Nuggets.
Clippers at one point. The Nuggets. Oh, that's right. Okay.
But yeah, dude, they were molded into all-stars and they just played really well together. And so like Detroit has never been a destination city, but I do think that's changing. I do think just Detroit in general is actually becoming like this huge, like it's booming right now, for lack of a better term. It's like there's a lot being constructed and it's starting in like obviously like in Detroit and it's kind of like branching out. Like if you go outside the cities, like it's still obviously not like the greatest place on earth, but it's doing well. And I do think that at some point it could be a destination city. At least I hope so, man. I need like some superstar to be excited about coming here.
Yeah, I mean that's the hard part.
Don't get me wrong. Like I love Blake Griffin. I absolutely love Blake. He was one of my favorite players before he came to Detroit.
But now injury prone and old.
Dude, we're dumping so much money into him.
Yeah,
and he's just hurt all season long. I still think he's a great player. I still think like with a healthy Blake Griffin, Andre Drummond, Derrick Rose getting back to like his like not old self, obviously, because that wasn't happening, but like. And then people like Christian Wood and Luke Kennard developing. Like Christian Wood's going to be a great player in the NBA. I'm actually really excited to see the progression of Christian Wood. Luke Kennard, it was great. Also super injury prone. You know, it's just like, I don't know. It just sucks.
Yeah. Well, here's the thing. I feel like this year for you, it's like you didn't have crazy expectations for your team. So you can't be really that disappointed, right? Bro, this season was kind of a heartbreaker for me. Like this one was really hard for me to watch because this was the season Nurk came back and we kind of had all our pieces back and we had a chance. Like we got another chance, right? We were not doing great, and then the bubble came and it was like Nurk's back and Zach's back and we have all these pieces and it's like, oh, there's a little hope. Like we might actually be the team we're supposed to be, and then we get one game on LA. In the first round.
That's still really hard though, because you have like all of these players, like despite like you guys going into the bubble healthy, like Zach got hurt. You had someone else that was hurt too, right? I thought maybe not. I don't know. Hurt? You still were dealing with injuries, but also just like having these players that were injured coming back. Like there were no practices before the bubble. Like everything just kind of went on lockdown, right? So you don't have like that.
Oh, there was practices before the bubble. A little. They slowly eased into it. I remember they completely went on lockdown and there was no practicing. All the practice facilities were shut down, and then they slowly opened up like the practice facilities, and then they went into the bubble. But there was practice before the bubble.
Yeah, but not like normal. You're still inserting these pieces
was normal.
that haven't played.
Sure.
Like together.
Sure.
You know,
yeah, we inserted
time.
pieces that most teams had been playing with all season long, right? And now they're going into the playoffs. We just all of a sudden Nurk's back, and now we have Hassan and Nurk trying to play together, and how is that going to work? And now we're in the playoffs, and we had 8 games to get that dynamic under control before we were against the Los Angeles Lakers.
Right.
Like, it's tough. I mean, we were still missing like Rodney Hood, which he's supposed to be back next year. He was absolutely huge for us 2 years ago in the playoffs. So having him back will be nice. I haven't heard anything, but I mean, we're not going to have Hassan next year. There's just no fucking way. I would be shocked if we had Hassan. So, but we'll have Nurk healthy. I would be shocked if Melo doesn't come back. So we'll have Melo, Nurk, CJ, Dame. I think
got a good core, dude.
And then Rodney, Zach hopefully will be back if he can stay healthy. So, I mean, we have a lot of good pieces.
Melo's coming to Detroit. LaMelo.
Hey, dude. Why not? Come on,
baby. We want you.
He ain't going to the fucking Pistons. My man's will ask for a trade. Baby. My man's is going to get traded. He's going to be like, nah. Ain't doing that. But imagine. How happy would you be?
Dude, super stoked. Just because it's going to put butts in seats, dude.
Yeah, it's true. I mean,
I think that's that's one of the biggest problems. And I talked about my friend who like works with the Pistons. And he was like, bro, we've been in this limbo for years because obviously like basketball teams, it's a business at the end of the day. Teams need to make money. In order to like completely like the Pistons like refuse to just completely like not tank. Like I don't expect them to throw games or anything like that. But they keep trying to do just enough, to keep people interested. Like hey, we just signed Blake Griffin. Like we got this like huge super. We just traded for Blake Griffin, like this big superstar. Like come watch us play. And then he's injured all season.
You got to sell tickets,
right? But that's the thing is like Pistons fans, they won't show up to the games if they think we're gonna lose just to support the team. And I feel I guess it's everywhere, right? But we can't just have a bad season, get a good draft pick, and then rebuild from there. Like it's constantly like we do just well enough to miss the playoffs, but also get a shitty draft pick. Yeah. So it's like, man,
it's tough. I mean, at the end of the day, it's a business. You have to make money, so you have to put butts in seats. Otherwise, you can't even afford to fucking have a team, right? Like it is a business at the end of the day. I get it, but as a fan standpoint that wants to see the team succeed, like you're like, dude, just fucking suck it up.
Yeah, I don't. Yeah.
82 games, lose every fucking game. Fuck it. Let the G League players get in there. And then let them get some practice in, some reps.
At the point, I don't see a difference.
And then get the number 1 pick and start over. I mean, let's be real. Well, that's not necessarily true. I was going to say the Blazers before we got Dame were kind of at that point, but that's not necessarily true because we had like Brandon Roy. And Brandon Roy was kind of the star. I wouldn't say Brandon Roy like changed the trajectory of the Blazers, but I think he was a part of it. Like if it wasn't for like the Brandon Roy hype in Portland and like that kind of team that we had, we weren't the best. Like we were kind of mediocre, but we had these glimpses of like, holy shit, our team is like fucking amazing to watch. And Brandon Roy was just incredible. He was so much fun to watch. He kind of brought the culture back in Portland. And then when he got hurt, we were all just devastated. And when he retired, and then we were kind of throwing like this little bone, like, hey, here's this young kid named Damian Lillard.
Yeah.
And then he pops off and has just an incredible, he was rookie of the year. He did what he did in his first season. And then from there on, it was just a completely different feel in Portland. Like Rip City and the passion for basketball was back. And then it's ever since Dame has joined the team, the Blazers have been just fucking massive in Portland again. Like we fucking love our team.
He carries that energy with him, dude.
I mean, you know it, like just watching the games and like going to games with us.
Yeah.
You can just feel like, Dame is he's the man, dude. He's completely changed Portland. I think that's why he's my favorite player.
It's an exciting team to watch too. It's fun, dude. I really, really enjoy going to the games. I enjoy rooting for the Blazers. Like
especially fucking, you've seen it. Dame can literally he can just go off 50, 60.
Yeah.
Like, just before you know it, you look up and you're like, what the fuck? Dame has 48 points? This man's about to drop 50? Like, it's just an incredible fucking thing to witness. I mean, I've been there for 2 50-point games. I've been there for both of his playoff series-ending buzzer beaters. I've seen him all live, and I was there for one of his 60-point games this season, the only one that wasn't in the bubble. For some reason, I've been witness to every single, like, incredible Dame moment, and I'm all fucking for it. And I'm just, obviously that kind of makes me a little bit more biased because I've literally witnessed all these phenomenal things that he's done. But Damian Lillard, without hands down, is my favorite basketball player of all time. Like,
maybe it's not Damian Lillard. Maybe it's
me.
O'Neal.
Oh, dude, maybe I'm his good luck charm, and I just need to be there.
You're
every
the
time.
Catalyst. Yeah.
I fucking love it, man. I fucking love it. Dude, and I'm not gonna be able to go to as many games, obviously, because my son is literally 8 weeks away. By the way,
yeah, dude.
8 weeks, 2 months, and I'm gonna have a little one. So no more going to 3 basketball games in a week for your boy. I'm gonna have to watch at home. I'm gonna have a baby in one arm, maybe a beer in the other. And I'm gonna watch my games like that. Quietly. I'm going to be cheering quietly. Just, go Dame. Don't wake the baby, but go Dame,
Absolutely. I'm excited for that. I'm excited for you.
Dude. 8 to 10 weeks away is what we're looking at right now. Dude, we had another appointment today. He's his size, he's trending normal size. Steph is healthy. Steph fucking passed a kidney stone, bro.
Dude.
I don't know.
That woman has had like the most, like, I don't want to say awful pregnancy, but like, dude, super unlucky. I remember like she got like right when all this, she was obviously pregnant, like right at the start of COVID, and she came down with bronchitis.
Yeah.
So she was dealing with bronchitis, and now she got, dude, I'm actually terrified of the day that I have to if I ever have to pass a kidney stone, because that shit is so painful.
Oh my God, dude. We've been together for over 5 years now. We just passed 5 years, like, not that low. It's funny. We've been so busy with just fucking everything in life and the baby and moving. Steph literally looked at her phone like 2 nights ago, and she looks at me and she goes, do you know what day it is? I'm like, what? And she's like, our 5 year just passed like 2 weeks ago. Like, we didn't even notice. Like, we're so much going on. And we looked at each other and we're like, wow, has it really been 5 years? Like, that's amazing.
Happy anniversary.
Yeah, I know, right? And we both just we've just been so busy with life, man. And
absolutely.
But I looked at her, I was like, in our 5 years, I've never seen you in this much pain ever. Like, it was, and she has a it was scary, man. There was nothing we really could do. And kidney stones are fucking weird. She had all this pain and she didn't know what it was. And they thought maybe it was a kidney infection and stuff. She passes the kidney stone and it's like a switch. Just feels good. As soon as it passes, it's like nothing was even wrong.
Yeah.
She was like, okay, I passed it. I feel great now. And I'm like, what the fuck? You were just in excruciating pain. And to see that difference in a matter of like literal minutes, once it passes, is just actually crazy. Dude, I am not looking forward to that day.
Was, dude, insane. I'm just happy that she's feeling better now and that the baby's healthy. And dude, two fucking, so that's the thing is I just had that revelation like earlier this month. I was like, bro, like it's almost December already. 2020 is almost done.
Thank God.
My birthday is next month.
Fuck 2020.
Actually though.
Fuck 2020. Ain't about it. 2020 has had some very small good things about it, but for the most part, it is just a piece of shit year.
Yep.
Let's get it over with.
Agreed. But I feel like I maybe it's just the optimist in me, but I feel like there's going to be a lot of good things on the horizon. I'm very, very excited for the future, dude.
Yeah, you're about to be an uncle.
I was going to say, I'm excited to meet your kid.
Well, you're about to be an uncle again. You're already an uncle.
Yeah, I mean, but I told you, I've been feeling really motivated in my career and stuff like that. I just I feel good about
You're looking beautiful.
Right now.
You're growing facial hair out, which I'm fucking about.
I'm shaving it as soon as.
Stop. Why? You just, I want you to go watch some YouTube videos and just learn to just trim. Keep the shadow, brother. Keep the shadow. Don't go baby face.
I'll think about it.
You're a grown ass man now. You're almost 30 years old.
Yeah.
You got a whole other year, but I'm gonna start throwing that at you now. You're almost 30 years old. I'm over here actually almost 30, bro. Yeah. Fuck. Dude, I don't feel 30. That's not true. There's times where I feel 30, bro. The amount of like,
there's times where I feel fucking 80.
Yeah. Amen. Like, dude, I'm pretty sure I've pulled my back out twice in a month with all the moving that I've been doing.
I gotta pee so bad. Don't make me laugh, please.
Oh my God. Well, I literally pulled my fucking back out, dude. I feel like an old goddamn grandpa. So think about
you're
that.
Carrying kids up and down the stairs and shit.
Oh my God. Anyways, God, dude, he's gonna be here before I know it. This can be so soon. We're getting ready. The next podcast, 2 weeks away from now, will be. Oh man, it's gonna be getting close. I mean, we only have a couple more podcasts, and then my son's here.
Literally 2 more podcasts,
and then we're turning into a dad podcast.
Yeah.
Then I'm just gonna talk about my kid 24/7.
I'm completely okay with that.
Be like, that's literally all we talk about for 2 hours. Like, dude.
Brandon, so what do you think about this new game that came out? Vern, I've changed 48 diapers in the last 3 days. What games?
Dude, well, 3,000 diapers a year. You do the math. It's going to be disgusting. No, thank you. 3,000 diapers and a whole lot of shit. Whole lot of poop. I can't wait. It's going to be great, man. Well, I think that's a good place to wrap up the podcast, dude, especially since you're about to burst.
Pissed my pants.
Thank you guys so much for hanging out. Thanks so much for listening. If you guys are listening to this podcast on Spotify, leave us a review. If you're watching on YouTube, dude, thanks. Do you have any final words?
Throw a comment. No, I mean, if you guys want more of us, you can follow us on everything at Vernotis, at GoldGlove, GoldGloveTV, all the other stuff that he has. I just want to say thank you, everyone, so much for listening, hanging out with us, and supporting us. I really, really enjoy.
He's got a
every single time that you guys come in and you're like, hey, really love the podcast. Keep doing it.
True.
Gets me through my work day.
True.
So, you know, I'm just happy that you guys are here for us as we try and be here for you. Have an amazing rest of your day, wherever you are.
This is actually really impressive for someone who is about to burst.
Dude, I literally am about to piss my
pants.
God,
okay. Thank you guys. Okay. We love you. We'll see you guys in 2 weeks, all right? Take care.